and we will see if All Gamers will pull it back or if LCK is going to pull off a huge upset because, you know, to take a 2-1, that would be a nice upset, but 2-0 against All Gamers,
oh yeah,
amazing start to your tournament. So let's see if they can get it done as we will move on to Ankara for the second map.
Would be a big statement if they got the 2-0, that's for sure. Even if it were another overtime, right? If it was a 13-12 or something like that. A 2-0 is a 2-0. You're not going to take that away from them. Ankara as well, you can see very low ban rates, obviously, across the board. It has been one of the favorites. I would say, actually, I think it's probably my favorite map in the pool as well. I'm a big fan of it. And Black Widow, I like Black Widow as well. But Ankara definitely for All Gamers is going to be a much more welcome sight. And I hope they've had a bit of a conversation outside in the meanwhile, because they have some reparations to do. It's not been their day so far. Bit up and down.
Yeah, they've got a lot to work through on this map, especially just knowing they are going to be on that GR first, which is where they struggled a lot on that sub-base matchup, but it's going to be BL for LCK, so this could be a really confident start for them once again, but we'll hop into it and see who can take this one.
Yeah, let's see who's going to win on Ankara as we do move into the second map of this best of three. Chengdu All Gamers up against LCK. Let's jump into it right now.
And they give themselves their customary hype up. But then again, I think LCK can fire back with as much as what All Gamers is delivering here as well. And that much has been obviously shown in the first map of the series. So let's see what LCK can do. Big ask for them, starting off on Blacklist side here. I would love to see that first round go their way in a decisive fashion and really sort of throw the gauntlet down to All Gamers and say, yeah, we're here to play. And they're going to go straight through the smoke to try to make that happen, but instantly you can see the difference. ZY able to double down and the bomb has been lost. So a lot of work to be done here for LCK. They tried to go out the gate strong and it has blown up in their faces.
Yeah, a bit of a tough one here. It is going to be now a 1-on-4 situation, and Dane, he's going to have to play really carefully here, slowly working his way around towards the A connector. Might get spotted out from Jouet, just kind of hiding underneath, waiting for that peek. He's going to have the timing to get it done. All Gamers, 4 players stay alive as they take the opening round, already showcasing a lot stronger GR than what we saw in map number 1.
Yeah, I mean, you remember from sub-base, they were able to come out strong. They were able to get a lot of wins early on from the Blacklist side for LCK, but even just one false step might mean that AG get a little bit more confidence, perhaps that LCK have a bit more trouble. But let's see. I mean, they went for a pretty big push into the office, and of course, CY, I believe, well, one of those guys over there on the side of AG was waiting for that push to come in a pretty forward spot, and LCK was not able to shut that down. So definitely a good start here for AG. Let's see what LCK has left in terms of their aggression.
Yeah, a lot of mid control for them, though we are starting to see even rotate back across to start locking down that push into the B side. I feel like LCK have actually missed a bit of a timing there. If they would have gone straight to B through mid, they actually would have found a 1-on-5. Essentially, there was only one player defending that bomb site, but now they'll have to get past Even, and he was probably the pick of the bunch in the last map for All Gamers. See what he can bring to the table here. Already a decent start. 1 for 1 though, is going to keep Do under a bit of pressure over on B.
Yeah, now it's all about addressing these players that have forced their way into the GR spawn. There's no clear site control just yet for LCK, but they've got a lot of map control to work with. They've also got Flex here lurking in the B hotel position, kind of playing that pinch on to Do if he can get the timing right here. It could be enough to steal that site away, but you can see that collapse slowly coming to life here from All Gamers. 3 players quickly on the mid flank, and they don't seem too prepared for this yet on the side of LCK. Dane tries to flick around. It's not going to work out though. Jouet finds the opener, and now they can get the retake started.
Well, let's see if Dezane can step up in the same way that he did on the first map, because he's going to be the point of the tip of the spear, I should say, for LCK. And Flex around from the back, just has to creep quietly. Real is the one that's actually stepped up there alongside Dane. And Flex ends up actually being relatively unnecessary. It's the hold on the site. ZQ is going to try to clear that out, but a good response from LCK. A bit of a confidence settler. I think you go down 0-2, you start to sort of question whether or not it's going to be doable on Ankara, but they're keeping themselves in the conversation, which is great news.
Yeah, I mean, Flex finally showing up. This is kind of what he does. Some wonky position, some, sometimes over-aggression, but this time it really works out. Love the rotation coming in right behind the rest of the members. Really threw a spanner in the works for AG as they were a little bit slow on the retake. And so LCK, nice push and nice hold to make things, once again, pretty even between these two teams.
Yeah, now here in round number 3, it's going to be all about All Gamers adjusting here to make sure LCK can't take these cheeky little aggressive plays and get that forward map control too early on. They have a habit on the side of All Gamers of giving up that mid presence, and you can see LCK, they've definitely done their homework here, and they know this is in a nice position they can exploit earlier on in these rounds, and again, it's pretty much wide open for them.
Yep. Has been pretty standard. I think AG tend to sort of have a bit of a heavier lean over toward the sites early and then even transitioning back in. But if LCK were to somehow recognize that fact and just full send it straight through mid, then yeah, they'd be in a good spot, though they seem to be a bit tentative to do that at this point in time. And so Evan's going to get to have another crack, another bite at the cherry here as LCK are headed in his direction. But he'll be taken down straight away, and it's only due to strike once more on the site. ZY from behind doesn't get much done.
Still going to be tough here. Bomb down, Real, in a 1-on-2 situation. Should be able to get the plant off at least uncontested here, but against Shui and ZQ in the post plant could be a bit of a challenge, but it looks like we could see a potential for a full wraparound play here.
Yeah, I like this idea. You still have a lot of time. You want to play with the angles here. But ZQ and his buddy Dway, they're doing the right thing. They're just waiting in the spawn, and they say, let's wait and see where he's going to go. But Real, very nice peek, understanding that they're going to be in there. And he is not going to be able to pull that one off, but a very nice job done, at least a nice try to give him a chance.
Yeah, close, definitely. Look at this from Real. He is stepping up above and beyond for the rest of the team at the moment. Dezane not quite having the same impact as what he did on map 1. 3 rounds in. Scoreline is still a little bit interesting.
Yeah, it is a bit of a back and forth here. All Gamers still getting the better of the early game so far in this one. They've got that 2-1 lead. And this is where LCK, I think, needs to be even a little bit more assertive in how they take this map control. It seems like they're almost too focused on trying to get that mid-aggression to work out, but ultimately I think they could still have a lot of success going straight into some of these sites as well, if they're not afraid to do so. But again, you can see them grouping up for this mid-take, but even very aware that this continues to be what they want to do.
Let's see what LCK has in the tank. I like that even though in some of those matches that we've seen, some of the rounds, I should say, where they lose, they're still keeping them pretty close. You know, they haven't been blown out in a lot of the rounds, which we've seen over the years the Chinese teams can absolutely get that done against many a team. It's not happening here so far as LCK now going to push through B bottom. Even is in position. They have the crossfire as he wraps around and he peeks at the right time, but LCK are going to get in onto the site at least, as Do is here as well, trying to hold it down, and he is going to pick up one at least. Dane gets the snipe, making a 2-on-2, and a pretty even position here for both of these teams. But Do another headshot with the pistol, and Flex is not going to get it done. AG will hold down the B site.
Yeah, it's just not quite coming together the same as it was for LCK, and I think the issue is you're just not having that one individual that's kind of popping off in the same way that Dezane was. These rounds are so close, but they're still favoring AG. I mean, the fundamentals are still there for LCK. You can see the good spacing, the good trading into the site, but no one is multi-fragging, and that's the difference for LCK at the moment. Whereas Do, obviously in the last round, able to grab himself a few. Hold on to the site in a big, meaningful way. Now, change, though, from LCK as they'll head toward the A site instead.
Yeah, I think right now they've got to start putting pressure on that A bomb site. They've got a lot of comfort on the side of All Gamers, knowing it's probably going to be a mid pinch coming from LCK at some point, and they're playing accordingly here. They're starting to take that presence slowly off of the A bomb site and putting that attention on towards mid and B. So if I'm LCK here, I'm thinking about when do we decide to finally go for that aggressive A take, but because they have to show at some point in this half.
Yeah, definitely a big question for them. As Flex, as always, well, it's going to be Dre picking up the first kill in this round, and now he's just going to back away. I was going to say Flex is pushing, trying to create a ruckus elsewhere, but it doesn't matter because the rest of the team is just shutting down the real push, which is Dre in the air vents, just able to shut down 3 people already. We're talking about multi-kills once again. They're just going to show up, and Dre will pick it up. We do have a timeout now for LCK, as it has been many a round in a row for AG.
Yeah, I mean, this is a bit more what I was talking about for AG, right? This is kind of the expectation for them, that they're such a dominant team, and you can kind of see the shots that are being hit. They're a little bit different. They're a little bit better than what we got on Subbase. Like, that shot from Dre is just so clean. The shots from Do holding on to the B site previously are crisp, and we didn't really get that same vibe from AG on Subbase. They seemed a bit unsettled, whether it's the crosshair placement, whether they're just not flicking quickly enough. Whatever the case, they didn't feel as sharp as what they normally do on the previous map, but, well, you're very much seeing a different looking AG here on map 2, and it certainly caused a bit of a problem for LCK, who do call that timeout early on in the piece. So what is the conversation for LCK? Do we change things up? Do we go a bit faster? Have we tried to properly exploit the A site? Maybe not quite so much. I remember Dre looking a little bit susceptible on the A site during the Summer Invitational. We were quite critical of his play around that vent position. He took a lot of isolated duels, a lot of 1v1s, even 1vx's that were untradeable if he went down. So something that LCK can maybe try to exploit if that hasn't been fixed up for All Gamers.
Yeah, I'd like to see it here. I agree. I think the A-bomb site could be their key back into this one. It's notoriously weak for All Gamers as well, but they've got to contest it on the site. The problem is these vent locations just look so good for All Gamers in these fights. If they can get that pinch from the A connector onto the vent, it's almost an unwinnable situation. So you've got to be careful about how you approach that A-long attack.
Well, we got double sniper here once again for AG. I think the first time in this map, not 100% sure, but able to hold it down. They have ZY over there in the office just in case, but LCK have really not been pressuring that position at all. But perhaps now, after the timeout, expecting a little bit of a change-up, as we did see on Subbase. Wouldn't be too surprised, although we do see LCK just kind of going back to the one round that has worked for them, which is a little push through B bottom rather, and a bit of the front yard as well. Here they go.
It's going to be a slow strategy here from LCK, putting a lot of pressure onto Even on the back of the bomb site B here. It is going to be Do sliding into position as well. Dane tries to sneak out into mid, but it's actually ZY who gets the opener. The trade quickly comes through, but ZQ, he's got the position to catch them off guard. Maybe not, though. Lionclaw takes him down right away. Even finds one from the back of the bomb site. Real takes down another from underneath in the underpass. Now they've got the 3-on-2 advantage, but the bomb's still in a difficult position here.
Yeah, it's being held down by Zhui, and he's spotted out one more. Dane not able to win that duel. It's a big one for AG to get over the line, because it maintains control of that critical piece of util that LCK do need, and it has sent Flex running back in toward mid. They're going to have to recontest to try to pick that up. 45 seconds. It's still a lot of time to play with, but AG have made this round much more winnable than it ought to have been by dropping the C4 in an awkward spot.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty awkward, and you do see that Even, he's going to peek him, and he gets both of them. Just dry peeks, takes down both, and doesn't even wait for them to try to go for the bomb. He's like, all right, I'll put an end to this round very quickly. And now, AG 5-1 in the lead after a timeout as well from the side of LCK. So this is not looking very even. Not like what we saw on Subbase.
I mean, look at the Zane, right? He's like, what, 17.3 ADR, so it's just not anywhere near enough. 2 and 5 in comparison to what he was able to drop in that first map. It's night and day difference, and you can see how much easier this is looking for All Gamers. this is shaping up to be a very fast map if we continue in the trajectory that we are so far.
Yeah, it seems that way. LCK just not securing the picks they need to, and the firefights just looking so challenging for them. You can tell All Gamers has come into this second map with a new life here, and they are not ready to allow an upset to happen in this overall series. So it definitely makes me nervous knowing map 3 is likely on the horizon. LCK, I feel like they've got to make this one a little bit closer to get that confidence, even if they can't win the second map here, knowing there's a third on the way. You don't want to go down 10-1, 10-2 here and start to feel a little bit demoralized.
Yeah, I think AG, pretty comfortable on Eagle Eye as well, so I'd be concerned if I was LCK and it went to map 3. I would like to see them just try something on A. Although this timing looks insane from Flex, but even then, and even turning around just in time.
Yeah, I feel like he was doing a good job getting some good information and scouting, essentially, but then if you're not able to get the drop and get the 1v1 firefight win, now it's just LCK saying, okay, well, now we don't know. He might have rotated. We don't have any information.
Yeah.
And it's 4v5. And we're on the attacker side. So it's going to be pretty rough for them. I think they really need to get a pick on this push as Lion Claw is coming in here. Not really guns a-blazing, but, sneakers a-blazing. He's running straight at them as now Dude just going to take them down one by one. A couple of kills going to Lion Claw, giving them a chance, but the chance is not enough as immediately it is shut down. And that will be another round on the board going to AG.
Yeah, right now things are looking pretty grim here on map number 2 for LCK, but All Gamers, this is kind of what we've come to expect from this team. They've got the resilience. They bounce back very quickly here in map number 2, and now it's going to be LCK kind of backs against the wall for the remainder of this one and maybe even into map number 3 here. It is a blacklist-sided map generally as well on Ankara, so 1, not going to be enough. 2, still going to be a difficult comeback if they can even manage that in this situation, but they're finally going to be putting a little bit more attention towards this A-bomb site early on. I like this approach, but there is a 3-player stack they're going into.
You can see Flex and Dane lining up a bit of util, but they've got to get past Shui. The flashes were good. They take him out of the round. Trades need to be cleaner from LCK, though. Where are they? And just not quick enough. The rotation, though, is coming across from AG, and eventually LCK have broken their way into the site. But ZY's already there to try to re-challenge, and that's the C4 dropped at the top of the stairs as well, so it's not even as if LCK can call the cancel and go elsewhere. They have to stay toward the A site.
Yeah, I think it's pretty telling that this is also the first kind of regular push they've gone for. And I guess they had that one time where they got dominated by Dway in the air duct, if that counts. Dane is going to just take them both out, though, so at least this time around, standard push right into A gets them their second round victory. And it's better than 1, as you mentioned before, Kyle. But it's still pretty rough to only get 2 rounds from the blacklist side on Ankara. I would imagine that AG are not too sad about that, although they would have liked to take the round, of course.
Yeah, definitely. Now it's all about the GR here for LCK. It didn't look good in the first map on this side of the map for them, but now Dane gets aggressive on A Long, already finds the kill onto Shui, make it a double kill, takes down Do as well, and he is still hungry for more here, wants to find that fight onto ZY, but after the kill onto Flex, decides to back off and hold on to the 4-on-3.
Yeah, I think there's definitely something to be said about Sniper play and Crossfire really kind of getting your team in a position mentally to just be able to play a good game. And I think that Dane, he was coming out pretty aggressively in quarters, just trying to get his team going. And knowing that, if he misses the shot, well, they're already down 7-2. If he hits a couple, gives them not only a good chance in the round, but also fires up the squad to say, hey, Dane's playing really well. Let's follow up on this and try to get this one going. I mean, Dane at this point, he's 8-8. He's probably got the best scoreline on his team, considering the scoreline of the rounds. So perhaps he can try to lead the team in a way through his play.
Ooh, AG might be about to make a big mistake. Moving in the direction of the stack. 2 players sort of watching mid and a couple toward the B side as well. AG could have more or less walked their way into A for free, but they've opted to go elsewhere, and Would be a nice start to the half for LCK if they could get this one on the board. Maybe I've spoken a bit too soon though, because AG are going back toward A. This is the nature of Crossfire though, isn't it? A lot of time in the round to play with, so you can do a lot of exploring on the attack. And they will indeed end on A, which is the right call. See what Dane can connect with. I love this angle, but doesn't look like it's going to work out this time.
Yeah, Dane has to be pretty careful in that position. ZY as well, sneaking into the double stack just outside of spawn. Lionclaw has to be ready to take this fight. All three players for LCK in this position are a little bit compromised. It's going to be one going down.
Oh.
Actually, all three going down. A brutal play here for All Gamers as they continue to dominate the second map.
Well, LCK, that was not quite it, I have to say. They even had a guy who was rotating all the way around. I think the Zane was in quarters. He was in the air duct. But they pushed into ZY and just got absolutely massacred. It's 8-2, and AG are looking pretty strong to take the second map of the match.
Yeah, I mean, what can you really say about that one? If LCK is not going to pick that round up, then I'm not too sure they're going to be picking many up, unfortunately. AG are looking way better than they did on sub-base. It's these multi-kills that were really evading them, eluding them on the first map that have come back in a big way on Ankara. And it's funny how big a difference just a map change can make. Because if you would look at this map, you'd think, all right, AG's just going to dominate. But they didn't on sub-base. Anyway, start of the round goes well again for LCK. It's not as if they're not giving themselves opportunities here on Ankara, but not really converting too many of them. I like this push, though, from Dezane.
Yeah, it's a great position, but does he know Dew's going to be lurking here on the front side of Arches?
He didn't see.
Oh no, the timing. He's going to be disappointed when he figures it out. Surely he checks the right side. No? Oh, that is a tough one. I'm sure at some point they might make contact with each other. This time, though, again, he doesn't check it finally.
All right.
Third time's the charm. Checks the corner, takes him down, but it may not matter. The rest of All Gamers just cleans house over towards the A-bomb side, and now it's going to be a 3-on-2.
And they know which direction he's coming in from. It's going to be from the quarter area. And now, AG, they can just send two people down here, one guy to check at the fence. And it should be a pretty elementary hold as Dezane. Okay, he's going to win the 1v1, but he'll be shut down from the top, and they know where Dane is coming in from. So just trying to buy some time here, and ZQ is going to shut it down. And that will be 9-2 now in favor of AG as they will move into match point.
Yeah, honestly, just a crazy performance from these guys on map number 2. Coming off of that first map loss, I wasn't sure if they were going to bring back that old AG dominant performance we've come to expect, but lo and behold here, it seems to be the case on map number 2. I'm hoping LCK can maybe find some sort of momentum to close out this half with, get a few more rounds before it's all said and done, knowing there is still a third map in this series on the way, because a 10-2, that's a lot of momentum for All Gamers to work with, and they seem pretty hungry to take this one all the way to a close here. 5-on-3, Dezane, Real, and Dane, kind of the last hope in this map.
Yeah, I think it's over. 5-3. LCK going to have a very difficult retake ahead of them here as the plant does go down on A. Even watching the main position, and, well, Real has got so many angles that he needs to check, and I would say he's going to probably get himself stuck in that crossfire. Do should get it done for free if necessary. It'll actually come down to ZQ to sort things out a little bit there as well, but yeah, I mean, it's just Dane left alive, and we've all kind of got an idea of where this map is going to be headed, and I think that's about to be locked in as well. Dane gets himself a nice kill through the smoke, but it's not going to be enough. He still needs to find 2 more. Do goes down as well, but there's no time, and ZY gets the kill anyway, so it's 10-2 on the second map of the series, and All Gamers will secure a map 3.